What's good? This be the G Shaw Cypher. You were tuned in to On The Grind Live. We officially supporting anybody that's grinding in any situation, whatever they doing in any way, shape, or form. You usually know, when you come to On The Grind Live, you generally see people dealing in the music business, right? You see artists, see producers, DJs. But we wanted to expand to that. We want to take it further because music is not the only grind out there, right? There's a lot of different grinds, a lot of different people doing big things and doing different things, and we wanted to highlight that. So I got somebody that's real special to me. This is blood family doing some entrepreneurial stuff as well, and wanted to really highlight that because I know there's some organization things I need to get together. You know what I'm saying? So this person I'm gonna bring up is gonna make sure you got that. Especially if you in her area, you never know, she probably expanding to other areas. So stay tuned, stay focused. You already know what it is. Shaw Cypher, let's get it. Okay. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen,
What's up?
I need to introduce y'all to somebody for real. You know what I'm saying? You see this lady that I got on here right now. This is not just a lady out here. To me, this is blood family. This is my physical sister. We have the same dad. There's certain people out there that I call my sister. Like shout out to Tampa
Mhm.
Mystic, you know what I'm saying? My business
Yeah.
partner. This is family, you know what I mean? This is my physical sister, Allanna, you know what I'm saying? I want y'all to understand what's going on, but I ain't on here just shouting out my family. I'm on here because my family's doing some big things, and I want to make
Mhm.
sure that people say, yo, you don't support your family. There's other people out there that might say,
Mhm.
yeah, don't support me. People don't support me. We blood family. Why
Mhm.
pushing it? Listen, man, I got a platform. She got a business. We need to talk about the business on the platform. Why not put it together? Allanna, what's
Yes.
good,
Yeah.
family? What's good?
What's good, bro? How you doing?
Yeah, man, ain't nothing.
Good. I love the grind. I love the grind. This is amazing what you're doing.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Listen, man, since we grown up, you've been doing a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Off and on. You've had actual 9 to 5s, but you will always had the entrepreneurial spirit. It was always
Yeah.
something like, yo,
Mhm.
I don't want to work for nobody. I want to really do it for
Yeah.
myself. So, yo, tell me, like let the people know, like, how transitioning from, a 9 to 5 to being an entrepreneur, like, how is that? How do you get into that thought process? Because you go from a regular paycheck to
Yeah.
your own.
Right. And I mean, it's. I know, working a 9 to 5 is on your daily grind. It's a really
Right,
good thing. But before you start a business, you really have to have a concrete plan because you're not guaranteed that 80 hours every
right,
2 weeks paycheck or 40-hour paycheck. So for me, working in retail over, I would say the last 20 years, I've actually started a few different businesses that didn't work
right,
because I thought that I was ready to let loose and I wasn't.
right,
So basically, the last company I worked for the longest, doing store openings, visual management, I was working with a lot of clothes and a lot of merchandise. And I said, you know what? When I get to a certain point, I want to do this, but how can I do this on a one-to-one basis with my clients? And then I was like, you know what? I'm organizing, but on a higher scale. So let me see if I could do this. And then that's what pushed me into organization over time.
yeah. And we gonna talk about how you created the name behind your business and how you
Hmm.
got there. Your brand name, Optimization Dolls. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying? First of all, I like the name because it's unique. When you so
Yeah.
now everybody think about Optimization Dolls, they ain't gonna look at nobody else. They gonna see you. They gonna
Yeah.
see you. They gonna see your brand. Like, tell me how how that came to be,
Hmm.
and explain how the skills that you gained since starting that business.
So basically, in retail, we use space optimization to maximize every space. So even if let's say we got 20 extra boxes of shipment on top of 100 boxes of shipment, using space optimization, we could always make it fit.
Right,
So that's why when I started the business, I thought optimization would be the best optimization dolls because we optimize, prioritize, and maximize the space.
right, okay,
And then dolls came from. I feel like every single closet tells the story of the doll that owns it. So that's where optimization dolls came from.
How like dig into, you know what I mean, how you perfected your craft. This ain't something you just woke up and said, yeah, I can do
Yeah.
this. Like
No, I didn't.
you know what I mean? You said you
Mhm.
had to start a couple businesses and
Yeah.
fail before you got to this point. So, you know, how important was it for you to really perfect this craft before you became the businesswoman that you are right now, doing what you do?
I mean, to be honest with you, you have to find a niche. You
Right,
have to find a need, and I noticed that the other businesses that I started in the past, it wasn't necessarily a need for it. And I noticed that I would have people always coming in the store to shop and they would be like, I don't know where I'm going to put these clothes, or I have so many clothes in my closet. And I'm just like, basically, like, you need to be organizing because you enjoy it. So why
right,
don't you get into organization? So basically, Optimization Dolls started as an organization company,
okay,
only home organization. And then when I would go into organize a closet, I would say, you know what, this would work a little better if if the space was maximized, or you had a system that did this and did that. So then what I did is I started working with local custom closet companies, but they weren't being loyal. So
okay,
then at that point, that's when I decided to learn, okay, can I own a custom closet business as a Black woman? What do I know about the custom closet industry? It's
right,
such a big industry. And that's how I jumped in. It was actually my clients that would say, no, we want you to design a closet, not someone else. We need you to figure it out. And I mean, I actually had clients who just, they waited until I could figure it out because they knew that I would really maximize the space, but then I would also make it aesthetically pleasing, where
right,
you can shop your closet. So the whole point behind it was being able to shop your closet. So that's when we started doing the design, the installation, and the organization.
right, right,
So it's kind of finding that one niche that really works for you, but it has to be a need,
right, right,
right?
right,
And then it developed into so much more.
right. So you operated off of the client's emotion and need and problem
Exactly.
that
Hmm.
they had in order to, you know, say, hey, I can do this for you. You have this problem, I can solve it. And this is, you know, and this is how I would solve it. Right. So
Hmm. But it
talk
was
about,
scary. It
oh
was
yeah.
scary. It was scary because I knew that, honestly, coming in as a professional organizer, I knew that with my team, we would do good, strategically, we could organize. But
Right,
if you're hiring me to organize a closet it's not functional,
right.
it doesn't make sense. So it's kind of like I'm coming in and I'm just basically organizing your space, but it's not going to stay organized because you don't have the proper system there. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
Mm-hmm.
So you go in, you like from a, because you do more than just closets, but we're gonna talk about the closets right now,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you go in and see somebody's closet, you pretty much walk in, you see the disorganization that's there. You know, you have a visual of what you think it can be, and
Yeah.
then you work
Mm-hmm.
with the client to turn it into something that turn it into something that they can keep a consistent system once you leave, right?
Right. That could be maintained.
So what
Mm-hmm.
happens? So what happens when you walk? You know, I explained it kind of, but like, give us a visual kind of like when you walk in there. What are some of the first things that you see? Um, Automatically say, yeah, you know, this is a problem. Like, what are some of the consistent things that you've seen? You know, as you've done the closets over time.
So basically, the way the process works is we start with a discovery call to
Okay,
kind of find out a bit about the space, if it's a shared closet, his and hers, and then we schedule a consultation. And then I do let people know off the jump, don't touch anything because I'm coming. Like, don't try to clean it up because people are like, my closets are messy, and I'm like, don't touch anything. I need to see the problem so I can permanently solve it. You know what I mean? So
right,
basically, when I walk into a closet, I mean, I literally see the end result. That's
right,
as soon as I walk in and I'm looking around, my mind starts to place things, and then I start to think about a design.
right,
And it also helps because during a discovery call, I tell a client, why don't you send me a few pictures or some videos of the space? So even before I get there, my mind is kind of working.
right,
And then at that point, I come in, I take measurements. the height, the width. I look and see if it's any obstructions, because like some closets will have access doors, they'll have air vents. I mean, it's so
Uh,
many obstructions you have to design around.
right.
And then once I take all those measurements, I actually put together a 3D rendering, a design where they can literally kind of walk into the space and look around.
That's dope. You know what I mean? Giving people, because you know a lot of people like the visual. Can I see what it
Yeah.
looks like beforehand,
Hmm.
right? So kind of like what we do with the Grind Report. Like, yo, we drop a magazine. I can show you, you know what I mean, typically what the magazine will look like before we drop it, right? So
Right. Hmm.
it's just one of those things, like, um, that visual right there can make the difference between somebody moving forward and somebody not, right? Like, especially with
Yes.
when they're
Hmm.
we're not when they're not design inclined like that, you know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
kind of like doing
Yeah.
a renovation. They can't see the end like you can.
Right. It's no way. And the one good thing about it is when I send the rendering, I also send a complete breakdown. So when I say a complete breakdown, I mean like I'll say, okay, if it's a his and hers, this is her side. We have a single hanging, a double hanging. The single foot, if I notice they have a lot of tops and bottoms, this is where your skirts would go. Here's extra spaces for your shoes and accessories. If they have a lot of jewelry, I'll break down where the jewelry will go. So with the visual, I give them a full breakdown of their closet inventory. So that way they would know everything has a space. And even during a consultation, I do make sure, because sometimes if you're going into a space, like if I walk into your closet and I look at the closet, sometimes everything can't fit. So they
Right.
may have a hall closet that they have clothes in. They may have a laundry room full of clothes. I request to see those spaces as well, just in case, if I'm doing a design and then they come in with all this other stuff after the design is done, it will compromise,
It'll come-
it being organized.
right,
Hmm.
right,
Yeah.
right. So, um, over time, like I've seen you, on Instagram and really been paying attention with you, going that just your progress, the upgrades that you've done, from I seen you working out of a store, right? Like organizing
Hmm.
stores.
Hmm.
I've seen you, really, really focus on the brand, and then finally getting you the Sprinter and putting your name on it. And so, first of all, congratulations on that, because
Thank you.
you are a
Thank you.
walking billboard promotion marketing. I don't think
I
they
try. I
people don't
try.
understand the marketing piece behind, what I mean, like having your own business, right? Marketing can cost. You got to find strategic ways of doing it. Like how important is the marketing piece for you? You know what I mean? Like how how effective was it in the beginning, and then how did it gradually get better? Because I think you're doing a lot better now than you were because you're
At the beginning,
consistent,
yeah.
right?
Hmm.
But like, talk about the marketing process for your business.
For me, I think the problem with some like small businesses when we start out, I was so focused on creating a brand, right?
Right,
Because you see all these companies, they're branded big. And I was like, no, you don't want to be a brand. I want to be the experience.
right,
So when you on my Instagram, when I come in person, it's the whole experience. When the van pulls up, I mean, I even have clients at this point, like they literally run out when I come for a consultation, and they're taking pictures with the van, and they're taking pictures with me, and they're putting it on their story even before we even start the actual consultation, because it's all about that experience.
right,
So with me, with marketing, I focus on the experience. So that's why a lot of my videos show me pulling up, saying it's installation day, opening a van, seeing them, take the wood off the pallet from the beginning to the end, you know, putting down things to protect the client's wood floors or
right.
carpets,
Carpets, yeah.
ripping the wire, taking the, not ripping, but taking the wire, removing
Right,
the wire
right,
shelves, patching the walls, installing a new system. Like I share the process from the beginning to end because I want people to be a part of the whole entire experience. So with me marketing, once I started to create an experience, it changed for me.
right,
So with the van, I was like, okay, what do I put on a van? So I basically designed a van 100%, because I was just like, it has to look a certain way. And I didn't want to create mixed messaging. I wanted you to
right,
see the
right,
van and just say, okay, I like the name. Okay, what are these people about?
right.
And just have the services and a phone number, and we even have the scan bar on the back where you could be driving and just scan and
Yeah,
pull up
yeah,
the
yeah.
website. Yeah.
They got the QR code back there.
Yeah, the QR code.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
the QR. That's one of the things very important, because nowadays in the world of technology, you want to be accessible. You want your
Yeah.
business to be as accessible as it can,
Yeah.
especially with all these phones. People walk by your van. Let's say you doing one of your clients, a neighbor walks by, sees what I mean? They see the van, and now you got the
Mhm.
QR code. They'll now you potentially getting customers off of just doing it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? And
And
then
that's why it's really important when it comes to marketing your business. Like, I mean, you can market yourself just by wearing your t-shirt. So it could be a day that I'm just going food shopping and I have my optimization dolls t-shirt, and on the back it'll say, how does your closet look? You know what I mean? And people will turn
right,
around and be like, how does my closet look? You
right.
know, or
Yeah,
I could be shopping at Home Goods. I had a lady, she saw the van outside and she walked through the store and couldn't find me, and she had them page me to the front like Allanna optimization dolls, and I'm like, oh my gosh, did I park the van in the wrong place? So I run up to the front. She was like, no, I just had to meet you, I follow you on Instagram. So I realized that the experience that I'm sharing with the world, like they really absorb it, and I'm just like, wow. So
right,
it
right,
was more about, instead of creating a brand, create an experience that people won't forget, and then they share it with other people constantly for
right,
you.
right. Let me
Hmm.
tell you what I see in the videos that you put out. So the one thing that I see, besides the experience, is the care that you put into the work that you do, right? Like you mentioned, you put you put the thing on the floor to make sure you protecting a carpet and
Yeah.
protecting it. That's important. You got the mask on when you need to have the mask. You got your foot covers. Like,
Yeah. Hmm.
so you showing that you care about the people's houses that you working in, right? Um,
Hmm.
there's businesses out there, they just walk in there, and
Yeah.
dirty shoes,
No, and they do, and they do, and
and they come in there crazy,
hmm
so um
see, the thing is, what people need to, what the thing that's really important to me, I know that a custom closet is an investment, right? It's just like when when you walk in a house, the first thing a person looks at when they're purchasing a home is the kitchen. It's the
right,
same thing with your closet, right?
right,
I know that it's an investment, and I know sometimes people save a lot of money, and sometimes they're looking at these closets on Instagram and on TikTok and Facebook, and they're looking at these $100,000 closets. I want them to know, with us, even if you're working on a tight budget, we can create a look for you,
right,
that you will enjoy for years to come and be able to stay organized. So that's a part. I think about that in every single design. When I'm sitting back and I'm doing a design, I think of so many things, like, okay, what if they are going to grow? If it's a new home and they're going to grow into the space, I know that some people get rid of stuff when they're
right,
about to move, but then when you're in a house for years, you have kids, it's just so much more things going on. You have weddings, so now you're buying more dresses and that type of thing. So
right,
I
right.
really take the time to think about um, the investment, because it's an overall investment, and I want them to feel really good about the money that they're spending.
Makes sense. It makes. I mean, that's
Hmm.
definitely important, right? Like we,
Hmm.
we try to do that too with our brand. You know what I mean? The Ground Report. We got our whole radio station, this podcast. Like we try to show you something that you haven't seen, and if you've seen it, you haven't
Hmm.
seen it this way, right? So
Right, right, right,
you haven't
right.
seen it this way. But listen, talk about the other stuff that you do. The closets is just a kind of, not it's not just closets that your brand,
Yeah.
that your
Mhm.
business does. Like talk about everything else that your business does, and how it's expanded from closets to the other things that you do.
So basically, we're a full storage solution company. So we do office built-ins, we do pantries, we do laundry rooms. We just recently posted a really nice laundry room, and then of course closets.
Right,
We also do garages. I haven't done too many, but we've been really busy with those four things.
right, right.
Mhm. And
I've
then we
seen.
also offer home organization. So it's kind of, even though we're a custom closet company, we also offer organization. So even if someone wanted to hire us just to organize, they could do that as well.
Yeah, I mean multiple streams of income for your business is definitely
Hmm.
But what you're doing is you're solving problems, right? Like
Right, right, right.
people, there's a lot of people that don't know how to organize, right? Like this,
Mhm.
my wife can organize a lot better than I can, right? But I'm more technical, I'm more tech savvy, right? So
Yeah.
we kind of balance each other out with different things. But um, that's dope that you have these different things. Like, talk about your team. Like, how many people do you have on your team? How do you integrate your team into a particular client job that you have? Do you always
Mhm.
have to bring your full team, or do you have to, maybe it's just you and somebody else, depending on what the job is? Like,
Mhm.
what is your process?
So when it comes to it depends, like you said, it depends on the job.
Right.
So if it's organization, Sarah is always with me. It's five of us. So Sarah's always with me. She's my lead organizer.
Hey,
But if
Sarah, I
we
see
do,
you. You on
you
here?
see
I see
Sarah,
you,
right?
Sarah. Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah, and then Sarah's been with me. Wow. Sarah actually worked with me in retail.
Right.
So she was actually a visual manager. So, and then if we're doing installation, basically, I don't need Sarah there if we're not organizing it after. But if we are, then I'll just have my two installers and then myself, because I just like to come just to see what's going on, take pictures, make sure the homeowner's good. But if we're doing installation and the organization, which we do them in the same day, we try to get it all done in one day before sundown.
Right. Right.
Then me and Sarah will start on a close midway while they're installing the closet. So as soon as they get out, we can get in.
Right.
So it's a total of five of us.
I need a show. I'll be seeing these HGTV shows, yo. My family need a show. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
if y'all just tuning in, right? If y'all just tuning in, what I mean, I'm talking
Yes.
to my sister, like literal my sister, Allanna, about her business, optimization dolls. This is an organizational company that can come into your home and turn your closet, turn your pantry, turn your garage, turn your laundry room, anything that you need organized in your space. I need to what we need to do. You need to start looking, helping people with they podcast rooms. I think take that even further. But yeah, we talking to her about it. Why? Because she grinding right now. This is on the grind live, so I want to make sure
Yes.
people know what's going on. You know what I mean? Um, so let me ask you this: is there anything else that you want to expand your brand to that you feel like you're not there yet, but that's the
Mhm.
ultimate goal, one of the other goals that you have for your brand?
I really would like to get to the point where we are manufacturing our own closets,
Okay.
because it's a lot of professional organizers that look just like me.
Right.
And coming into I mean, it's a male dominated industry, and I would love to be able to support women like me who started as a professional organizer, and they feel stuck, they feel like they can't move to that next level. I
Right.
would love to be able to supply them and teach them how to own a custom closet company, or to just be an independent contractor, and to be able to fully service their clients and not have to look for contractors or look for different people. I mean, it's at the beginning, trying to find contractors, and you don't know if this person is skilled as they say they are, even though people have credentials. Walking into this business in that aspect could be a little bit scary. So I would like to manufacture as well.
Yeah, that's dope. What I find it hard for me to do, I'm gradually getting into it, is
Hmm.
getting away from being the person doing it to hiring people to help me
Oh,
do it.
yeah.
I can go do other things to expand the brand, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
you turn from the grinder to the CEO, right? The worker to the
Mhm.
CEO. Really, you own it, but right now, because it's your baby, you want to see everything, like, and it's
Yeah, you're
hard.
doing 90% of the work.
Right, right, right. And then it's hard to transition out of that because
Hmm.
you got to deal with trust issues. You got, what I mean, you got, like you just said, you got to make sure the people
Hmm.
do exactly you want
Hmm.
the way you want it. You got to kind of train them, but it's the only way to scale, right? Is to get to
Yeah.
that point. So I'm learning to get
Yeah.
to that point,
You know what
right?
I call you know what I call that? Teach, test, and trust.
Right. Okay.
We have to get to the point where we teach, test, and trust, because the thing is that are we truly successful If I got sick today, would my
Right.
business be able to operate? Would I still be
Right.
able to pay my mortgage? Would I still be able to take care of my family? If you
Right.
know, if I couldn't grind this week, who could grind for me?
Right.
And that's really important. That's
Right.
important. You know.
Right. And that's very, I mean, that's definitely definitely something that you got to be able to do, right? Like,
Hmm.
can you take a vacation and what I mean, your business is still moving,
Yeah.
right? It's still rocking.
Because
Um,
it, like you said, it's a big difference coming from working in retail, where again, I would accumulate vacation. I would have sick days.
right,
Now I'm full payroll and I'm still responsible for my mortgage, and I'm paying for my son's tuition to college.
right,
And you have to make sure that account is padded, because you can't afford, if you have a slow month,
right, right,
it's no such thing as a slow month. You got to make sure that money is in the bank. So
right,
it's just making sure that you have someone in place. And when I left retail, I'm going to tell you how I knew I was ready. I finally got to the point where anybody that was on my team that wanted to be promoted had to have a person that was equal to them. That means they had to have a plan A and a plan B. So that plan A had to be able to do everything they can do. And then that person that was their plan A had to have a plan A and a plan B.
okay,
So that's the same way, that I try to treat my business. Sarah is my plan A.
right,
So, bringing in someone new, that's Sarah's plan A. And then that person has to have a plan A and plan B. Like, you have to set your team up for success.
right, right, right.
Hmm.
And it's crazy because now, I still have a 9 to 5 and I'm working in banking, right? So outside of this, what I mean,
Hmm.
I'm working in banking, and I managing people, that's what I definitely had to do, right? I had to,
Yeah.
when I leave, who can I say, okay, this person can replace me, right? And it was just
Hmm.
one of those things. So I definitely understand that. And now with doing the ground report with my business partner, she does it, on her end, she does it like 100% entrepreneur. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, there's no 9 to 5. I'm not there yet, but what I mean, that's the goal, right?
But understand the fact that when you get to the point where you can successfully run someone else's business,
Right,
is when you're ready to run your own. And that's what I had to learn over time. I'm like, oh, I'm killing this job, but like, are you really? Like, are you,
right,
are you 200% to LY? Like, what are you
right,
doing that's so different that you feel that you're ready? But if you're at the point in your full-time job that you are fully managing, you're running someone, like someone's paying you, that person's trusting you to run their business. So now it's time for you to do the same thing for your
right.
business.
Right. So talk
Hmm.
about the business. How important was to make sure that your business paperwork was right? Because people like, yo, I'm doing
Oh, yep.
this.
Hmm.
They like, yo, I started this business, but they don't got an LLC, right? Or they got an LLC, but they put their home, address on it, or something like that, right? Like, how
Yeah.
important was it to make sure that you had that legit paperwork together in order to really show that you a legit business?
So I jump started the business in 2016, 2017, August. But I was already putting all my legal stuff together in 2016. So I had my LLC, I had my tax ID, I had my federal number, or everything that I needed in place.
Right.
I started to pay for liability insurance, workers' comp. All of those things were important, because if it doesn't matter how successful you are at the end, if you're not legally structured,
Mhm.
you can lose everything.
Right.
So I pay sales taxes every single month. Like, so it's very important to stay on top of things. And then if you're starting a business and you're not sure, get a legit checklist. Like, seriously, you can't listen to everybody on social media, because you have to understand that sometimes these people are there to make money.
Right.
There's actual checklists in place where you can make sure, okay, these are the steps that I need to take, and start taking those steps before you actually leave your 9 to 5. That
Right.
way you're actually set up. Oh, make sure you have a business account. I made sure that I had, because you want to have your business and personal separate. You never want to use a business debit card for something personal. They need
Right.
to
Right.
totally be separate. So that way, every time I swipe my card, it goes into my QuickBooks and everything is already lined up.
Right.
Making
Right.
sure that you log, if you're using a vehicle, you understand mileage. All of these things are very important from the beginning to understand.
Right.
And then if you're not sure, you can actually have a company support you with your LLC. So for me, my LLC, I have a company that sends me a yearly report. Okay, Allanna, this is due this year, this is due this year, you have to do this year. And the
Right.
same thing, the same way, QuickBooks is really good at that. They'll say, okay, Allanna, it's time to pay your payroll taxes or this type of thing. It's,
Right.
it's, it's different systems in place to help you out. Like another thing is DocuSign. Like DocuSign was one of the best things I ever found because like after a consultation, when a client approves the design, I can have them sign off on a design, sign off on my contract. That's another thing. You
Right.
have to have a contract in place. So all of these things I started working on early. And if you're interested in a business, start to join networks before you actually start your business, like the Association for Closet and Storage Professionals. I
Right.
joined them early. I didn't even have a custom closet company and I joined them and I just was paying attention. I just was learning things.
Right. Right.
They
Right.
had a Facebook page where they would ask questions like, oh, if you had this color wood or this, they would ask different questions about manufacturing and custom closets. And even though I didn't know what they were talking about, I still was listening,
Right.
and paying
Right.
attention. So when it comes to the legal stuff, it's really, really important. And if you don't know where to start, um, it's checklists online. Get a checklist. You can go to the federal website. You can go to your state websites.
Right.
Start there first because it's 100% legit, and they will actually have checklists on online that you can print out that you can
Right.
go by. Hmm.
I started doing that, in the music. I was, doing music like hard, right? It was just me, Shaw Cypher as the artist, not Derek, not none of that, right?
Right.
I
Yeah.
was just, I was just, learning, right?
Hmm.
Transitioning into the magazine, into the podcast and the radio. I was, in different events, right?
Hmm.
So many different
Hmm.
events and different things, really paying attention like you were. I'm doing that in the credit space, right? So
Yeah.
I'm
Hmm.
paying attention to which I should have been doing, anyway, along, overall. But now I'm
We
paying,
learn as we grow.
what I'm
Hmm.
saying. So I'm doing that in the credit space where I'm learning. I'm really paying attention, the difference between your business credit and your personal credit and investment,
Yes. Hmm.
liabilities and assets and things like that.
Trademarks.
Trademarks. Listen, matter of fact, let's just talk about that. It's very
Right.
important that you trademark, what I mean, your brand. Like you listen, man, get somebody to do that search for you. And make
Yes.
sure whatever name you come up with, just because you LLC it or S Corp it, don't mean
It
it's
don't
yours.
mean nothing. And I'm gonna tell you something that changed that's big. That's big with when it comes to trademark. So before you used to can hire different companies, like you could pay different services. So the company that I had, my LLC, they had services where they would like for let's say $750,
Right,
they would do your application, and
right,
then with any application, they have different codes that you would add to the application for $250 each, in categories for your business. Well, they changed the law now. You can only use a trademark lawyer or you can apply yourself because they found that a lot of companies were submitting information wrong. So I was lucky. I kid you not, I have my trademark right there on the wall. I got my trademark probably about 5 months ago, and I did backflips because it took me a year and a half to get it. A
right.
year and a half, and I did the application wrong twice.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
they say it takes about a year. You can submit the application, but it takes a while before you get that
Yeah.
paperwork. If
And
it's
it's if you have discrepancies, that's what takes
right,
the longest. So they have classes. The codes are called classes, right? So
right,
let's say if you go Shaw Cypher, I'm gonna use this class for music, but I'm gonna use this class for a magazine, and you try to put it on one trademark, it may be a discrepancy that would slow down your. So
uh,
it's better to do trademarks separate and add um, just classes that's similar to each other.
Right.
And then if you once you trademark everything, then you can use it together, but you have to trademark different things separately. I mean, the legalities of it is crazy. It's definitely worth hiring someone if you don't know, but I know now, like, to me the prices are kind of through the roof because you have to hire an attorney,
Right. Right. Yeah, I don't like doing something twice except unless it's marketing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's,
Right.
unless if it makes sense to keep
Yeah.
doing it, that's what I'm doing. You get what I'm saying? But I don't want to pay for something twice because I did it wrong the first time. You know
Oh,
what I
I
mean?
paid for it 3 times.
You know what I mean?
And
So
you know what I call that, right? Fail forward. I failed forward.
yeah, exactly.
You know.
Um, so listen, tell everybody, how they can get to you on social media, all that good stuff. You got a website. I know you got a website. So tell people how to get to
Yes.
you, how they can get those consultations from you.
So for short, optimization dolls, OPM dolls across all platforms. And then for my website, you can also OPM dolls or optimizationdolls.com.
Yeah. Well, it's important. I see how you did that. You made sure you snatch both domains. You get what I'm saying?
Right. I did that because I was just like, people like, how you spell optimization?
OPM dolls. Yeah, definitely.
So, but just like I was saying, OPM stands for optimize, prioritize, and maximize. So
Right.
putting that in, and then it just made it easier. So I was like, okay, let me go buy optimization dolls, because that's another thing that's important. The .coms, like, I can't stand to see a business name with the Gmail behind it. It
Right.
needs to be a .com.
Right. It definitely needs to be a .com. One of the things that I know, like I did with the Ground Report, you got the Ground Report website, you got the official Ground Report email, right? Because business, banks, if you go try to get a line of credit, they see that Gmail, that's a red flag. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right, and
that's
and
a
and, and,
red flag.
and I tell people, because I do try to mentor, like I have a few young ladies that I mentor, and they're professional organizers and they have amazing businesses. Just like I said, they want to get into custom closets. And I'm like, it's those small investments. The problem is, I think people try to start too big.
Right.
Celebrate those small wins. Even if you get, your .com, or you apply for your trademark, celebrate the small wins and build yourself up. You can't do it all at once. You can't.
Right. That's a fact. I got it at the bottom there, OPM dolls, www.opmdolls.com. I got that right? It's
Let
at the
me
bottom.
see. Yep. OPMdolls.com. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just in
And at
case,
OPM Dolls on all platforms. Yep.
yeah. So go check her out. Go follow her. You know what I'm saying? If you missed it, we'll have the audio on our iHeartRadio, our Apple Podcasts, our Spotify. Tell a friend that they need to listen and get the jewels that she just dropped on here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Is there anything else anybody you want to shout out? Anything else you want to say? All that good. Anything that you want to?
First off, I'm gonna say thank you, because I know you don't know this, but this is my first video, my first live.
Oh, word.
I kid you not.
You
I'm
on?
serious.
Yeah.
When you asked me, I was like, it's time, and what better what better way to have my first with my on my brother's show. Why not?
Right. Listen,
Um,
man, I like to be the first for a lot. You know what I mean? The next thing, what,
yeah.
we gonna get you. We need to get you on our radio station. You know what I mean? Power
No
107,
doubt.
60.
Just let me know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
To the radio waves. But yeah, you did good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want listen.
well,
You
I
want
mean, listen. April 12th, I'll be speaking at one of the largest closet conferences, all the closet companies from the United States, and I'm a keynote speaker, and we'll be speaking about videos and digital marketing and why it's so important. So I'm excited about that. So
yeah. Make
I'm
sure.
excited about that.
Yeah, write that off. Make sure you write that trip off.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, first of all, congratulations on that, because that means
Thank
people
you so much.
respect that
I'm a little
respect.
nervous. I'm not gonna front, but I guess if you're nervous, you're doing something good.
Listen, you got past this, right? Like now you can say you did one, you know what I mean? And you can send people to it. You know what I mean? You can send people to it and you'll check it out.
Yeah.
And then now you want to now watch, there's gonna be more coming, because then they're gonna realize, like, yo, You know what I mean? You doing this, you doing that, and it's
They
going.
be trying. They be like, "You want to get on this live?" I be like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we got you on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube right now.
"Oh,
You
that's
know what I mean?
awesome."
So, and then on top of that, we put the audio, like I said, on those digital platforms, so you can stream it on those platforms, the Apples and the
Oh,
Spotify's.
okay.
You get what I'm
That's
saying?
cool.
iHeartRadios and all that good stuff. So, listen, I appreciate you.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
thank you so much.
Taking the
This
time
was
out.
great.
You know what I mean? Family, all that good stuff. Everybody, you already know what it is. It's Shaw Cypher. We got Allanna, Optimization Dolls, On The Grind Live, The Grind Report. She's doing it big. This is my legit family sister, because people are like,
Family,
you know what I mean?
familia.
You know what I mean? Like, yo,
Yes.
we got our same blood running through there. You know what I mean? So I need y'all to understand how important
One
it
of
is.
his twin sisters.
This month, yeah, this is a twin. So there's another one look just like her. There's another one. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Lene. You know what I mean? You already know what it is. You know what I mean? Tell her she needs to go check this out. You know what I mean? And then she can
Yes.
take that, put that on her Instagram. Boom! I just showed y'all
Yes.
how to do a freaking reel. You know what I mean? That's your boy.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Yeah, all
Right.
good. All right, y'all. You know what I mean? We gonna holler back at y'all. You already know how to get to us at the Grind Report, On The Grind Live, Shaw Cypher, OPM Dolls, Allanna. You already know what it is. Holla at your boy. This